Hello, 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel, and today we're going to take a look at John Moses Browning's one of his greatest symphonies of engineering and mechanical design, and that is the Auto 5 shotgun. Now, this is an Auto 5 made by Browning right around 1957, but he dreamt up the idea of this shotgun back in 1898. He patented it in 1900. Took the design to Winchester, and Winchester shot him down. They didn't like the fact that John Browning knew he had something going here. This was the first commercially successful semi-auto loading shotgun design. And John Moses Browning wanted royalties from Winchester to produce this. And Winchester told him, no, we've always bought your designs outright and own everything. We're not paying you a royalty. So he took his design over to Remington. Called up Remington. President Remington is listening to John Moses Browning saying, hey, I've got a semi-auto shotgun design that Winchester doesn't want. You know, Winchester's #1 designer. Yeah, come on over. Let's talk about it. Unfortunately, as John Moses Browning was sitting in the waiting room to talk to the president of Remington, he died of a massive heart attack. Well, John Moses Browning, not one to give up, took this over to F&N and sold the design to F&N, and it became F&N Browning Auto 5. Now, later on, Remington would buy the patent or buy the rights to produce this here in the United States. So this design was the first semi-auto shotgun made in the U.S. under the Remington name. And then Savage also licensed it to build models very similar to this. Now, the Browning's going to be the top of the heap. It's going to have a few extra features that the Remington and Savage did not. But this one, right around 1957 manufacture, the wood's in beautiful shape. It's got really nice bluing. Mechanically, it works great. It is just an all-around awesome shotgun. This is one of the higher-end ones. Got the engraving and stuff on it. Just an absolutely beautiful shotgun to look at. Beautiful work of art from the master, John Moses Browning. Now, there's a few things on here. Just a few features that I found on this that are really interesting, you know, for the design. If you've got a follower that moves in and out like this, when you can keep your bolt open. When you put your first round in there, as soon as you let go, bolt's going to close. And you'll be loaded up, and then you can run your other 4 rounds. Auto 5. 5 rounds. 4 plus 1. Anyway. So, you've got your round in there. You load your 4 rounds. Boom, 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 boom. Locks back open. And you're ready to go again. Now, this one also features a magazine cutoff on the side here, where you can flip back and forth. Now, where would that be handy? Well, if you're sitting in a blind and there's, you know, you're shooting ducks and stuff, and you got birdshot in this, and say a wolf or a wolverine or your beaver, something like that comes around, and you want to hit them with something a little harder than your standard birdshot, you can eject your round. You put your magazine cutoff, eject your round, throw in, say, some buckshot, close the bolt, shoot the buckshot, and that's going to prevent anything loaded in here from coming up and reloading. So that gives you an option of cutting off that magazine disconnect so that in the field, if you need to, you can load something else in there and interrupt the mechanism. Really nice feature. I found this a very pleasurable shotgun to shoot. Let's go out to the range. Let's take some shots of it, and then we'll discuss it a little bit further. Did you hear that? That thing auto-loaded as soon as I put the first cartridge in. Now just load up 4 more. Okay, well, a little mid-video edit here. After a little bit more research and a call to Browning, we did figure out that this shotgun was made in 1966. Also, a shout out to Art's Gun Shop. He's got a really good video on showing you how to date this. Okay, let's take a closer look at this shotgun because it's hard to see all the features on it from a distance. Now you got the classic humpback, a signature of the Browning A5. Well, at the left side of the receiver here, we do have some really nice engraving work on here and a little picture of John Moses Browning himself, a little caricature right there in the center, just a classic touch. And as we took a look over here on the right side of the receiver, we've got some more engraving work done and your little bolt release button there under the ejection port. Then we can zoom out a little bit further and get a little bit better look at just the beautiful work done on the stock with the check ring and the pistol grip and the little flutes there right behind the receiver. As we look under the trigger guard here, you can see the gold-plated trigger, along with a little bit of engraving work there under the trigger guard and the crossbolt safety. And the all-important Made in Belgium stamp on here. Now let's get back to the bench and see what else we think about it. Well, we're back from the range, and it is really a nice shotgun to shoot. It does kick a little bit, and simply because of the long action on this. If you notice here on this rib, there's an indentation. If you really look at the footage, you'll notice that this is a long action gun. When the cartridge fires, this whole barrel moves back into the receiver along with the bolt. The bolt gets caught up in the back. The barrel moves forward again. Once it gets clear and ejects the shell, the bolt follows and picks up the next shell. You can go on YouTube and really, look at some of them, how this operates and how it works. It's really, really interesting, very unique. Something we don't do now. Something to build something like this would cost quite a bit. Browning is still making an A5, but it's a completely different mechanism. They stopped making this. The last one came off the line in 1998. So 100 years after John Moses Browning came up with the design, the last one came off the assembly line, and the current production ones are a completely different mechanism. They look very much the same, but they are a different mechanism. But I thought I'd bring this out to you. It's just a beautiful old shotgun. If you can pick one of these up, they really are worth the investment. Now, Winchester, and kind of in this story here, when this came out, Winchester knew that, we made a mistake. So they came out with their model 1911, trying to get around all the Browning patents. And it was kind of a PR disaster for them. You have to remember, back in those days, you're talking paper cartridges. They didn't have plastic shells like we do now. And that gun got termed the Widowmaker, simply because those cardboard cartridges would swell. It would jam in that gun. And the first thing guys were doing, in order to charge the gun, instead of having this charging handle here, you had to grab the barrel and pull it back. Well, if they jammed, guys were sitting there putting them on the ground, loaded, looking down the barrel as they're trying to push the barrel down, and several people lost ears, eyes, noses, faces, lives, and it just affectionately became known the Widowmaker. Not necessarily dangerous guns if you know how to use them, but they should have gone with the Auto 5 to begin with. But this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel. I thought I'd bring this out to you. I was loaned to the channel. Thought I'd bring it to you, show it to you. Take a look for these, because these are really cool old shotguns. Really cool the way they work and the way the mechanism works. A classic Moses Browning design. But this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel. Yeah, please like, subscribe. Let's continue the conversation down below. I am out.